Moi kaikki! Tässä videossa mä haluan puhua vähän Suomen jouluruuista. I want to talk a little bit about Finnish traditional or perinteiset. So perinne is a tradition, perinteiset, traditional jouluruuat. Christmas foods. Also, shout out to this craft my sister made for me years and years ago. Let's start with aamupala. Aamupala is breakfast. Aamupala. So, in some Finnish households, aamupala will consist of riisipuuro. Riisi, meaning rice. Puuro is porridge. Maybe you're already aware of the fact that puuro is very, very popular to eat for breakfast all throughout the year in Finland. Puuro. But usually it won't be a rice porridge that people consume regularly for breakfast, but specifically during Christmas time, the puuro that people eat is riisipuuro. Actually, up until the 1800s, Finns ate barley porridge. So barley in Finnish is ohra. Eli Suomessa syötiin ohrapuuroa. Then, somewhere along the lines in the 1800s, this ohrapuuro turned into the more expensive riisipuuro. 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 So, part of this riisipuuro tradition is to hide a manteli, a kuorittu manteli, into the puuro. So, a kuorittu manteli is a peeled almond. This tradition apparently comes from Sweden, and it also was started around the same time in the 1800s when the ohrapuuro was switched to riisipuuro. This kuorittu manteli is hidden in the riisipuuro, mixed into it, because when it's peeled, it looks, it's camouflaged into the porridge. You can't really see it. Everyone takes a scoop out of the sharing pot onto their own plates, and the person who ends up with the one manteli that's hidden in the puuro is considered as getting luck for the next year. Eli ensi vuonna tulee onnea. What is then included in a Finnish traditional Christmas dinner? Eli jouluateria. Traditionally, the meat that is consumed at the jouluateria is kinkku, or joulukinkku, the Christmas pork. So kinkku would be pork. Kinkku. So that would be the liha, that is usually the main meat, the main liha of the meal. Whoops. In my family, very few people actually eat pork, so we don't have this tradition so strongly. These days, it's not uncommon to also be served kalkkuna, which is turkey, or even a vegetarian version, so seitan, I think it's pronounced, which is like the vegan meat replacement. Toinen jouluruoka that has to be mentioned is the laatikot, or the casseroles. So laatikko literally translates to a box, but in food context it means a casserole. Laatikko, eli joululaatikot. These include the very popular lanttulaatikko. Lanttulaatikko. Eli lanttu tarkoittaa swede, so it's a root vegetable, a swede. I think in the US it's called rutabaga, but more commonly here it's known as a swede, or in Finnish lanttu. Lanttu. Eli lanttulaatikko. Another must-have laatikko at the Finnish Christmas table is porkkanalaatikko. Porkkanalaatikko. Porkkana is carrot, so carrot casserole. Porkkanalaatikko. Ja perunalaatikko. Perunalaatikko. Peruna is potato. Perunalaatikko. Sometimes people might also have maksalaatikko. Maksalaatikko. Maksa is liver. Maksalaatikko. Another perinteinen suomalainen jouluruoka on rosolli. 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 So Rosolli is a type of cold salad made from 3 main ingredients. Peruna, potato, peruna, peruna, porkkana, porkkana meaning carrot, porkkana, peruna, porkkana, ja punajuuri, punajuuri, which is beetroot. Puna, red, juuri, root. Red root, punajuuri. It's diced into small cubes, and then depending on your taste, into the salad you can also add apple, so omena, omena. You can add sipuli, so onion, sipuli, sipuli. You can add pickles, so suolakurkku, suolakurkku. Suola is salt, kurkku is cucumber, salted cucumber, suolakurkku. Or some type of fish or kala. And then with rosolli, you will often have it paired with a kastike. So kastike is sauce. Kastike. And this kastike is made from kermavaahto, so whipping cream, kermavaahto, which is infused with etikka or viinietikka and beetroot broth to make the color of the cream pink. So punajuuri liemi. Liemi is like a broth. Finnish people love potatoes, so it's not uncommon to also have just plain boiled potatoes at the Christmas table. So keitetyt perunat, keitetyt boiled perunat, potatoes, keitetyt perunat. Fish is also a very common Finnish Christmas food. So fish is kala, 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 kala. So there's various types of fish dishes that may be served. I'll just mention a few of the common ones. One would be lipeäkala, lipeäkala, lipeäkala. It's some sort of middle-aged dish, a dish with its roots coming from the Middle Ages, and it's made using some type of dried fish. I think in English the word is lutefish. Again, if it seems like I know absolutely nothing about fish, you are absolutely correct. Maybe you've noticed about how I talk about these food dishes, but I'm a vegetarian, so I've never actually tasted any of these fish dishes. So it's difficult for me to explain them properly because I have no idea what they're actually like. So if you personally have tried lipeäkala or any of these other fish dishes that I'm explaining, it could be useful for you to, in the comments, describe them more or explain them in more detail if you find my comments lacking. So after lipeäkala, we also have graavilohi, which is graved salmon, or I think the proper name is gravlax. Gravlax? I don't know how you pronounce that, but it's a type of salmon, basically. And then another salmon dish is also quite popular called kylmä savustettu lohi. So cold smoked salmon. Kylmä, cold. Savustettu is smoked. Lohi, salmon. Kylmä savustettu lohi. Let's talk about desserts. So a very traditional Christmas dessert in Finland is Luumukiisseli. It's a quite light plum pudding. So luumu means plum, luumu, and kiisseli is, I translate it as pudding, but you eat it in a bowl. It's quite liquidy, so you eat it with a spoon. It's not really, it's a bit thicker than a soup maybe, but it's quite runny and very light in texture and taste. So luumukiisseli. Of course, a European classic is mulled wine or glögi. It's called Glögi in Finnish. Glögi, you'll find it at all the Christmas markets. Even cafes will be selling glögi. You can find it in grocery stores in pre-packaged liter. In Finland, it's also common into your glögi to put manteli, so almonds, and rusina. Rusina, raisin. Rusina. So you'll put manteleita ja rusinoita glögiin. Gingerbread, very popular in Finland. In Finnish, gingerbread is pipari, 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 pipari. We also have joulutorttu, joulutorttu, Christmas tart, joulutorttu. I have a video where I made these on this channel, so I'll link it down below. Go have a look at that if you haven't seen it yet. Also, the candy Vihreät Kuulat. Very, very popular candy that is sort of associated with Christmas time in Finland. It's these balls about yay big and they're green. They're kind of cut in the middle, so it's really easy to like pull them apart in half. And it's just kind of like a jelly marmalade type of candy that has like a sugar coating on the top. Back in the day, I remember they pretty much only had just the perinteinen, the traditional Vihreät Kuulat, but as the years have gone on and people are getting more creative with the types of foods that you can buy, we have joulutorttus with the Vihreä Kuula jam in the center. We have chocolates, like just a Fazer-levy chocolate with the Vihreä Kuula flavor in it. We have all sorts of cookies or different products that have this Vihreä Kuula flavor in them, like little chocolates that have it in the center. They've really gotten creative, but this is considered kind of a classic Christmas flavor these days. Vihreät Kuulat. And the final Christmas food I want to mention is Joululimppu. Joululimppu. It's a type of bread. I would describe it as a kind of Nordic styled rye bread, but it's spiced, it's softer, and it's sweetened, usually with a syrup. So when I was looking at the recipes of how to make joululimppu, the spices, just so you get an idea of what the spices used are and how it might taste, the spices used tend to be pomeranssin kuorta. Pomeranssin kuorta. Kuori is the peel, and pomeranssi is a type of orange or citrus. Online it was translated as bitter orange or marmalade orange. So pomeranssin kuori, kumina, which is cumin, kumina, anise, which is anise. In Finnish it would be anise, fenkoli, which is fennel, fenkoli. So these are spices or mausteet that one may put into joululimppu. As a final remark, I'd like to ask you if you're Finnish and somehow your Christmas food traditions are different from what I mentioned, because I do know there's also certain regional differences. And obviously every family might have their own traditions. What do you eat at Christmas time in Finland? Or if you've moved to Finland and now live here, what is a Finnish Christmas food that you particularly enjoy? Or if you live in another country and celebrate Christmas, what kinds of traditional Christmas foods does your country have? Is it similar to Finland? Is it vastly different? Were you surprised by any of these foods on the list? Let me know. Let's have a chat. And I just also at the end want to wish everyone hyvää joulua ja onnellista uutta vuotta. Thank you again everyone for watching my videos this year. I feel very grateful for all the supportive comments, the supportive community, all the super lovely people that have been here on my channel, watching, commenting, liking. It's been really great to know that I've been able to inspire and help so many people with their Finnish language journey, and I hope that we can continue this journey together next year. I do also want to ask, because usually I've been only asking my YouTube membership members or Patreon members for video recommendations. I'll be taking a week off, so next week I won't be posting anything, but I'll be posting again starting in January, and I'd just like to take this moment to ask if any of you have any particular desires or requests or video topic that you are keen to have me cover, now's your chance to leave them in the comments, because at the start of January, I think I'm gonna try to kind of plan out the direction I want to take my channel in next year. And yeah, I'm very excited to what is in store for us next year. And with that, hyvää joulua taas, onnellista uutta vuotta, and hope you have an amazing last week of this year. Kiitos paljon kun katsoitte taas ja nähdään ensi vuonna. Moikka!